Hey everyone, it's Bryce, or better known as Kami, or better known as Best Androxus NA, number 1, 2016! Alright, it's enough of that. We're gonna bring you an Androxus guide. An Androxus guide? A Androxus? No, it's an Androxus, right? You got the I before E, except after. Whatever. The things we're gonna cover in here is just going over basically his skills, some decks that I use, and some tips that I've learned to help you become a true God Slayer. Anyway, we'll start with his abilities. Alright, so Androxus has a revolver. It has 6 shots in it. Left click will shoot 1 shot at a time. Right click will shoot a 3-round burst. If you have less than 3 shots left in your clip, it'll just empty the clip out. His movement ability is called Nether Step. Now, you can actually use this to dash in front of you, up in the air. If you're up in the air, you can go down. You can go all around. Now, these 2 dashes can be used in quick succession, like you spam it, move, if you're just trying to get around a corner or something, but you can also space them out. So you dash once, a bar will pop up at the bottom of the screen. You can wait it out, and as long as you dash again while that bar is counting down, you'll be able to dash again. I think it's like 2 or 3 seconds. Sounds about right. Oh, and since we're on the topic of being up in the air, as Androxus, if you hold the spacebar, you'll start slowly falling. If you let go of the spacebar, you'll fall at normal speed like any other champion. I guess that's important to mention. Now his Q ability, Reversal, when you press it, his hands will go up, they'll turn green, and you will absorb all shots coming at you from the front for 2 seconds. After the 2 seconds is up, your hands will go down, and all that damage you absorb, you'll spew it back out like a green ball. Now the projectile's kind of fast, not crazy fast, you gotta lead a little bit depending on, you gotta get used to it pretty much. But the damage is gonna be 75% of all the damage that it absorbed. And no, you cannot press Q again to cancel it, to kind of throw off your enemy, you just have to get the timing down right. And there'll be a bar at the bottom so you kind of know when it's going to happen. Lastly, we have his ultimate, Accursed Arm. Upon activating it, your revolver will morph into a friggin' cannon death thingy. I don't know. And you'll also begin flying. So if you're up in the air, if you've never stepped into the air and you press your ultimate, you'll just start floating instead of having to free fall or slow fall or anything like that. Now you have 4 seconds to unload 4 shots. Now these shots aren't like your revolver, it's an explosive death machine, so they're really fast moving projectiles, but it's got a pretty big explosion radius. And again, you have 4 seconds to unload 4 shots, and your ult will end either after you shoot those 4 shots or you run out of time. Alright, let's go on to the cards. We'll start off with specialty real quick and go through the 3 of them. You have Heads Will Roll, Quick Draw, and Vengeance. I'm just going to go ahead and say this now. Vengeance. And then you have Quick Draw and Heads Will Roll. Now, I definitely prefer these 2. I think that Vengeance is just not up there to the standards of the other 2. And I actually started with Heads Will Roll because I was like, I'm used to shooting at heads. I played CSGO. I'm kind of a professional. But the thing that Quick Draw gives you is a 3rd Nether Step. And it's kind of like, because it's like, oh, I get attack speed when I use Nether Step. But like, dude, I kind of want to save from the Nether Step, you know, when I'm like trying to run away. But if you stay up in the air, people don't tend to attack you if you do it right and you stay up in the air, you know, hold the space bar. But it's a lot of moving. It's a lot of like look upwards and dash and look back down and then shoot and then, you know, wait a couple seconds and then look back up and dash again. And it's like, that's too much effort. Practice with it. Right now with these specialty cards is the bee's knees. Heads Will Roll, still good. Just don't choose Vengeance. Just don't. Okay? You promise? I don't think you promise. And this whole section right here is not really that big of a deal because in a couple weeks, High Res will be removing specialty cards. You know what? Scratch everything I said. Use whatever you want. Be you. Be unique. Now we'll pop over here to the deck that I use for Androxus instead of just going through all the cards and going one by one on why I think they should be used and why they shouldn't be used. Pretty much in my opinion, this is where it's at. You know what I'm talking about? Abyss Walker giving you 160 health every time you dash is just reinforcing the choice of having Quick Draw. It gives you another dash, gives you another 160 health. Boom. The second card here, Through the Warp. I can see how people are like, I don't really care about having that much more distance on it. And when I first saw it, I was like, it just seems so meh. But when you're trying to dash up in the air and stay up there, that extra 20% allows you to get up in the air, out of the range of people's sight, so they don't even notice you're there and you're a flying ninja, dragon slaying god champion. And then we have Buying Time and Sleight of Hand, and both of these just give you ammo. Buying Time being after your reversal is finished, and Sleight of Hand after you Nether Step. Now keep in mind that the Sleight of Hand has a 5-second cooldown, and so you just have to, it benefits you if you space out your dashes, actually. So let's say you see a person, you go pow, 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 and you shoot, and then you dash. You get your 3 ammo back, you're back to a full clip, and you've procced your Quick Draw, which gives you the attack speed. And then you're up there and you're like, then you dash again right before that bar goes down there. And then you're out of fucking ammo, and then you just dash again, and then you get 3 more ammo back. And then you drop, and people are like, get that Androxus. and you're like, no, and you throw up your reversal and you're running away, and then your reversal goes off and it's like, bam, and it hits another dude, and then you got 3 more shots after that. It's pretty good. I don't know, it's pretty good. I think this is the bee's knees of all decks. And again, they're gonna be removing specialty cards coming up in the next thingy, patchy. So, take it with a grain of salt, or whatever they say. All right, and boom, you got yourself a deck and you got yourself the knowledge of the abilities. Now, I'll go over a few tips and tricks that I've learned with Androxus. None of them are game breaking, but hopefully they'll help you out a little bit. First thing I wanted to go over was when you are doing your reversal, what's awesome is you can hold down your left click as you're about to let out the reversal. So let's say a Ruckus starts dual firing you in the face. You instantly use your reversal. Most of the time they won't pick it up in time and before they actually pour in a little bit of damage in that reversal. As you're trying to aim at them, hold down your left click. What this would allow you to do is the instant that reversal goes off, you will also fire. It may not sound like that big of a deal, but every second counts when you're fighting that damn Ruckus. Another thing to take note of, and this is specifically for the specialty card of Nether Step, when you have an increased attack speed after you Nether Step, your right click, shooting the 3 clicks, if you click it quicker, it will do the 3-round bursts in quicker succession, if that makes sense. So instead of it going like brr, brr, you'd go brr, brr. I know, my sound effects are like on point tonight, it's insane. Alright, what else is there? Your ultimate. Keep in mind what I mentioned earlier that you automatically float when you use your ultimate. I would suggest try to be up in the air at all possible. Just being up in the air gives you a better vantage point. Sometimes you can ult and people won't even know that you're ulting, and you can rain from a higher altitude. Not rain from above, we don't want to mix up any games. Okay, I think that wraps it about up. I guess kind of briefly go over the burn cards that I like to use. I think Hi-Rez might be changing the burn cards coming up in the next patch. I don't know. But as for the defense, Blast Shields and Haven are always good. Like if there's 4 opponents on the team that hit for 350 damage or more, like Eevee, Androxus yourself, the Cassie, Drogos, the slow hitters, grab Blast Shields. If you have a lot of fast hitters like Sky, Grok, Ruckus, Ying, pick up Haven, simple as that. As for utility, I like to pick up Chronos. That just makes it so you can reversal / Nether Step more often, but it's kind of a heavy investment, so make sure you have a decent amount of credits left over in case you kind of get boned in the next round, don't get a lot of kills, so you can still buy 3 burn cards next round. If you aren't having that much credits at your disposal, Equestrian is a good pickup. It's a great way for you to dash, get out of the opponent's vision, and then you can quickly mount up and run away. As for healing, Cauterize is always good if they have like a Pip, and Androxus using, the Nether Step build, kind of what we're using with the Abyss Walker, being able to heal. And it also is just generally kind of good because when people go over health drops, if you're shooting at them, they'll get nothing out of it. It's insane. If you don't really see a lot of heals other than just people picking up their health packs, that's really going to cause you issues. Life Rip is always really good, and if you're slacking on credits, Gather is my go-to. Never really Veteran. And lastly, on damage, I would normally pick up Wrecker if they have more than 1 shield, like if they have a Barrack and a Fernando, or a Ruckus and a Barrack, something like that. Take note that Wrecker and Life Rip, if you shoot a shield, you actually get the health back of the damage you do on the shield, and if you're doing 100% extra damage on shields, you get that much more life back. Pretty good combo. And Deft Hands, just all around good. You're pew-pew-pewing, and then you reload real quick so you can pew-pew that much faster. Alrighty then, that should wrap up everything. If you're interested to see any other decks that I'm using for the champions, there's a link in the comments, along with the Discord, my Twitter, and all that fun stuff, because woohoo, self-promotion. The Imager link will have each folder labeled as a certain champion. Give it a click and you can see the decks that I'm using. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop by my stream. I'm super friendly, you'll love me, I'm amazing, but I'm a little biased. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna be one of those people who asks you to like and subscribe, so I'm not gonna ask.